So the college football coaching carousel does not look to stop anytime soon, and especially when we look at the situation going on at Auburn between the Tigers and Brian Harsin, a situation that can only be described as a literal dumpster fire. A dumpster fire that we are going to be talking about this evening on the live stream, 5:30 Central Standard Time. I would love to see you there, but until we get to that point, we've got to talk about a different entrance into the coaching carousel. Michigan offensive coordinator Josh Gattis leaving the Wolverines to take the new offensive coordinator job under Mario Cristobal at Miami. We need to talk about what this means for Michigan, what this means for Miami, and the entire package. But before we do, as always, you know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Are you surprised at how Gattis is leaving Michigan? And let me know what you're thinking. I cannot wait to hear from you. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy the content, like and comment down below. Those interactions may seem small, but they are truly massive to content creators such as myself, and both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, we've got a fair bit to get into, so let's hop right in. And we will start from the point of view of Michigan. Because if I was polling Michigan fans, I think the vast majority of people would have thought it would be Harbaugh that was the one entering the coaching carousel, especially with he publicly flirting with the NFL. But fast forward to now, and for the time being at least, Harbaugh is firmly planted in Ann Arbor. In fact, it's offensive coordinator Josh Gattis that looks to be the newest entrance into the coaching carousel. So what does this mean for Michigan? Well, first and foremost, I think we need to talk about whenever you're talking college football, assistant coaches leave for other opportunities a dime a dozen. This is not an uncommon occurrence. It's not uncommon in high school football, college football, the NFL, or life in general. In your life, you're going to have opportunities presented to you, and it's up to the individual to decide whether or not that opportunity is best suited for where they are in their current place in life. Ultimately, Gattis must have felt like the Miami job was the best scenario for him. So Gattis leaving Michigan for Miami in and of itself is not hyper surprising. We see assistant coaches leave all the time. It's the nature of how things came to be that's surprising to me. Because reportedly, Gattis sent a text to Michigan players saying that he felt like he was underappreciated by the institution. And though I cannot lay the blame squarely at Harbaugh's feet because I think that would be irresponsible, it makes me think of the quote, "Every action has an equal and opposite reaction." As Harbaugh has been publicly flirting with the NFL, now we see an offensive coordinator feeling like he wasn't appreciated by the institution. And like I said, I cannot fully put the blame on Harbaugh, but if you're the head coach of an institution that just had a good year, beat your rival, and made the college football playoffs, though you didn't end the year in the manner you would have liked, you made the dance that so many people are trying to get to and that proves so elusive. You made the entrance into the four-person dance. That in and of itself is a massive accomplishment that I don't think we as college football fans recognize teams for getting to. So Michigan had a great season by all metrics, beating Ohio State, going to the college football playoffs. But whenever your head coach is publicly flirting with the NFL and not giving a clear direction as to what his future holds, I can imagine it makes individuals inside the building feel some type of way. So like I said, I'm not claiming that this is solely on the feet of Harbaugh, but what I am saying is that with Harbaugh publicly flirting with the NFL, and now you have Gattis saying he didn't feel like he was appreciated, that could have been a drop in the well. So where does Michigan go from here? Well, unfortunately, Michigan did have a solid offense this year, and I'm not claiming that they were world-beating, but they had a cohesive offense that allowed them to be able to put themselves in position to succeed. The good news for Michigan is that if you're asking who's the next guy in this situation, I don't think you have to look far. Matt Weiss, the quarterback coach for the Wolverines, is somebody that can continue familiarity with Harbaugh. He knows what Michigan does. He's been in the building, and if ever you're able to have the opportunity to promote from inside, that continuity is massive. It's an easy understanding of expectations, and it allows the individual to, in theory at least, hit the ground running. So I don't think Michigan will have to look far. But if you look at this from what this means to Miami, Miami's in a situation where Miami has a fan base that has been hungering for results for the past 20 years. This is a fan base that has seen supreme success in a near enough time frame to remember it very well, but long enough away to be incredibly hungry for it to be back. Whenever we're talking about Miami, there's a lot that could draw someone to that job. Though the results haven't been where fans wanted or where they should be for the type of program Miami is, if you are able to correct what's been going on there, that's going to mean a great deal to the fans. Not only that, you're talking about one of the most fertile recruiting grounds in the entirety of the nation. Florida produces so much top-tier talent, and unfortunately for the institutions in the state of Florida, that talent has not been staying there. They have been bled by other institutions. So whenever you have Mario Cristobal come to Coral Gables in Miami, first and foremost, Cristobal is a heck of a recruiter. We know this. We know this from his time at Alabama. We know this from his time at Oregon. If there's one thing we can say Cristobal can do, it's recruit. So that right there is something that should excite Miami fans. Now, when you add in Josh Gattis into the situation, this is an individual that put together a very capable rushing attack this past season for the Michigan Wolverines. And when we're looking at what Miami needs to get better on next season, the rushing attack has got to be near the top of the list, especially when Tyler Van Dyke is a very capable passer. He is a very capable passer. If you're not a Miami fan and you're just wondering what quarterback should I be watching for next year, keep in mind Tyler Van Dyke. He's a name that I think could rise depending on the situations presented. One of those situations is the presence of a running game that will allow pressure to be taken off of him. That requires a few things. It requires good enough offensive line play to be able to maximize those abilities, but it also requires an offensive coordinator that knows how to put things together succinctly. And at least during his last season at Michigan, Josh Gattis did just that. So it is going to be interesting to see, one, how Tyler Van Dyke continues to develop, two, how the rushing attack develops for Miami, and three, what is this offense really going to look like? If there was one complaint I had about Mario Cristobal at Oregon, and granted he wasn't the offensive coordinator nor the offensive play caller, so it's not really on him, but at the end of the day, you are the CEO. His offenses always looked to be missing something. And it didn't matter whether he got a new offensive coordinator or not, the offenses always seemed to be missing something. Will that be fixed in Miami? For Miami fans, I certainly hope so, because you want to talk about a fan base that has a hunger to see their team stop underachieving. That fan base has got to be near the forefront, right? Whether we're talking Texas fans, USC fans, Miami fans, all of these institutions making big moves over the past few seasons, Miami making theirs right now. So this is a move that has ripple effects. What will Michigan do? Well, I don't think Michigan's going to be looking very far. I think Weiss is there. I think he offers continuity. I think he offers familiarity. Two things that I happen to think are a big deal in the world of college football, especially when we're entering into spring practice range, and especially when you're turning your attention to the class of 2023 and recruiting. That familiarity, that continuity is big for offensive targets, especially if Michigan looks to bring in quarterback pieces into this next class. So, love that for Michigan. It's going to be interesting to see if that's the direction they ultimately go, but something we have to watch out for. For Miami, you're putting together a brand new puzzle piece, and Mario Cristobal finally announces his offensive coordinator, Josh Gattis. Both individuals having worked at Alabama, though not at the same time. Two people who can recruit well, but recruiting is only going to be part of the battle. I expect Miami to be able to win battles for in-state prospects. I think that they have the recruiters necessary to do that. But now, how is the offense going to come together? How is the defense going to come together? And will development be present? Those are the questions that need to be answered now, but it is good to see that Cristobal is getting his staff put together. Because of that, I'm very interested in hearing from all of you. Michigan fans, let me know what you're thinking. Miami fans, let me know what you're thinking. And if you're not a fan of either team and you're just a fan of college football, can't wait to hear from you either. Hop down to the comments, let me know. That's it. See ya.